Dearness allowance. This video compresses information gathered from Wikipedia in video format. Studies prove that reading while listening improves comprehension, increases speed as well as expands vocabulary and enhances fluency. Video sections. Abstract. History. DA calculation sheet. Pensioners. References. External links. Give your feedback on the comments section. Support the channel by subscribing and liking the video. Thanks. Abstract. The Dearness allowance, DA, is a calculation on inflation and allowance paid to government employees, public sector employees, PSE, and pensioners in India, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Dearness allowance is calculated as a percentage of an Indian citizen's basic salary to mitigate the impact of inflation on people. Indian citizens may receive a basic salary or pension that is then supplemented by a housing or a Dearness allowance, or both. The guidelines that govern the DA vary according to where one lives. DA is a fully taxable allowance. Two types. 1. DA given under terms of employment. 2. DA not given under the terms of employment. History. The Dearness allowance was introduced following the Second World War, and was then known as the Dear Food Allowance. The old textile allowance was also introduced in 1947, though this was revised and reintroduced in 1953 as the revised textile allowance. Initially DA was given in response to demand of employees for wage revision. However, later it was linked to Consumer Price Index. In the past, various committees have been constituted to look into the issue of payment of DA to central government employees. The Three Central Pay Commission recommended payment of DA whenever the CPI rose by 8 points over the index of 200. The extent of neutralization granted with effect from 1 January 1973 ranged from 100% to 35%. The IV Central Pay Commission recommended the grant of DA on a percentage system of the basic pay. 1986. It also recommended payment of DA twice a year, the 1st of January and the 1st of July. Each installment of DA was to be calculated with reference to the percentage increase in the 12-monthly average of all India Consumer Price Index. Base 1960. The extent of neutralization now ranged from 100% to 65%. The V Central Pay Commission looked into the issue of differential neutralization and found it to be injustice to senior officers and recommended uniform neutralization of 100% to employees at all levels. The Commission had suggested that Dearness allowance should be converted into Dearness pay every time the cost of living rises by 50% over the base level. The Vice Central Pay Commission recommended revision of base year of the Consumer Price Index, CPI, as frequently as feasible. It also changed base year for DA calculation to 2001. Base year 2001 equals 100. DA calculation sheet. Formula for calculating Dearness allowance for central government employees after 1 January 2006 is Dearness allowance percent equals average of AI CPI. Base year 2001 equals 100. For the past 12 months 115.77. 115.77 asterisk 100. Formula for calculating Dearness allowance for central public sector employees after 1 January 2007 is Dearness allowance percent equals average of AI CPI. Base year 2001 equals 100. For the past 3 months 126.33. 126.33 asterisk 100. Dearness allowance with effect from January or July of a particular year in the future. Once the AICPI IW for a particular month is published by the government, whereas for PSU employees it is declared quarterly by DPE, Department of Public Enterprise, beginning 1 January 1996. The Dearness allowance is granted to compensate for price increases to which the revised pay scales Relate. This will be reviewed twice a year, on the 1st of January and the 1st of July. The following table shows all India Consumer Price Index since the 1st of January 2006 with base year 2001 equals 100. The DA rate for industrial workers since the 1st of January 2007 with base year 2001 equals 100. For third quarter, September to December 2015 has been declared as 107.9% and that of fourth quarter, January to March 2016 is 112.40%. The Fifth Pay Commission recommendations were implemented since the 1st of January 1996 and consequently DA rate WEF. The 1st of January 1996 became zero. Further in 1994 central government merged 50% of the Dearness allowance DA with the basic pay WEF, the 1st of April 2004 and the Dearness allowance continued to be calculated with reference to the AICPI IW averages on the 1st of January 1996 of 306.33 without changing the index base consequent to the merger. Accordingly, Dearness allowance DA, as mentioned in table below, was sanctioned from the 1st of July 2004 till the 1st of July 2007. DA rate is applicable after implementation of 6th Pay Commission recommendations WEF from the 1st of January 2006. Is shown in table below. DA rate is applicable after implementation of 7th Pay Commission recommendations WEF from the 1st of January 2016 is shown in table below. Print media workers. For print media workers, the Government of India has notified a DA formula in the Gazette No. 2532 E of November 11, 2011, as recommended by the Majithia Wage Board for journalists and non-journalists. The said Gazette notified formula was subsequently upheld by the Supreme Court of India by its judgment made on February 7, 2014. The Honourable Supreme Court upheld the recommendations as revised and determined by Hon Justice RETD Majithia, while 115.76 is the base and divisor for central government staff. For employees coming under Majithia Wage Board, 167 had been recommended as base and divisor. The said 167 is the 12-month average of July 1, 2009 to June 30, 2010. The average for the current DA period January to December 2017 is 274, which is the 12-month average AICPI-IW of January 1, 2016 to December 31, 2016. The DA calculation for January 2017 to June 2017 is 274 minus 167 asterisk BAS IC pay and the result divided by 167. Total points 107. Pensioners. Both pensioners and their families are granted DA, and this continues following re-employment with the central or state government, a government undertaking, an autonomous body or a local body. That is, DA is allowed in addition to a recipient's fixed pay or time scale. In other cases of re-employment, access to DA is subject to the limit of emoluments last drawn. DA is not allowed during a pensioner's time overseas if employment is undertaken. However, the DA remains accessible to overseas pensioners whilst the recipient is not employed. From the 1st of October 1984 to date, pensioners are paid DA at a certain percentage of basic pension. The allowance is calculated on the original pension without commutation. From the 1st of July 1986, the percentage has been revised every 6 months based on the cost of living index. 0.72 to 80 DA may be allowance. References: DA calculator for PSU employees, DA calculator for CG employees, time interval for revision of Dearness allowance. Confirm. DA Doctor from July 2019 to 5% increase in 7th CPCDA at 17% and 10% increase in 6th CPCDA at 164%.